This is an example of a function for which we're going to differentiate with the product rule. So this is a product of two functions, so x cubed and sine x. So the product rule works by differentiating each of those parts. So we could say u is equal to x cubed, and we could have the second function as being sine x. If we differentiate each of these with respect to x, we'll get du dx, which is 3x squared, and if we differentiate the second one, we're going to get dv dx equals cos x. The product rule says that dy dx is assembled using those four results there. So it's u dv dx plus v du dx. If you look at how we've written them down, this is like cross multiplying them. So we're going to do these two multiplied plus these two multiplied. So if we begin to assemble them, we've got x cubed cos x plus those two. So it's going to be 3x squared sine x. Now I guess that's how we could leave the answer, but we'll just factorize. We've got a common factor of x squared, so we could write that as x squared, and we'll have x cos x plus 3 sine x. When we have to differentiate using the product rule, we can use the formula in the way that you just saw, but it's probably easier to try and write down the steps just without using the formula. It's not that difficult. If you look at the formula, so we've got u times v, so u and v are the two functions making the product. The gradient is found by doing the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. So if you can remember that rule, it makes it much easier to apply, and you won't have to write down all those u's and v's. Okay, so now we'll do the quick way for dealing with the product rule. So if we want dy dx, in this case, we're going to do the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. So we've written all the parts down, we just need to simplify them now. So x squared times 1 over x will give me x, and for this there isn't a lot we can simplify there, so it's going to be 2x log of x. And I guess you could factorize that if you wanted to. So that's going to give me x into 1 plus 2 log of x. Very quick. The second example, well, it's a quotient, but we can write that as a product. So we could write it like x e to the minus x, and then we can apply the product rule. So we'll do that. So if we want dy dx, it's the first times the derivative of the second. Now in that case it's going to be minus e to the minus x plus the second times the derivative of the first. So we could simplify that to give me minus x e to the minus x plus e to the minus x. And we could go one more step. We could factorize that. There's a common factor of e to the minus x. So that will give me minus x plus 1, or 1 minus x.